available and great benefits, plus medical and prescription costs at very low premiums. Dental, vision, and life insurance are offered at no premium cost to the associates with increased bonuses and vacation for new hires. To learn more or apply, go to continentaljobs.com with keyword Lincoln. Come work at Continental today.
Jake Sorensen here for The Body Shop. My wife is nearing her due date with our first child and has been in need of a good massage as her body continues to change and adapt. Dennis and the team at The Body Shop were incredible with the prenatal massage that she's still talking about today. I was also able to get a deep tissue massage, so it was a great bonding experience and a unique couples massage in general. If you're in need of stress relief, book a massage today at thebodyshoplincoln.com. The Body Shop at 48th and A.
Ironhide Construction is hiring. They're looking for hardworking, self-motivated individuals who are team players. Ironhide Construction has openings for an experienced project manager, estimator, apprentice, skilled laborer, and erector or installer. They will train the right people and make sure you understand the position and requirements. At Ironhide Construction, it's own it, be honest, and do it right. Apply today and learn more about their other benefits at ironhideconstruction.com, where they're committed to you every step of the way. Spring is here. It's time to get back outside and into proper shoes this year. Brown Shoe Fit is the place to buy this spring with their sale on athletic shoes. Get $15 off any regular price athletic shoes with respected brands like Hoka, Brooks, New Balance, and On Running. And don't forget, Browns carries a large arrangement of sizes and widths to fit your feet properly. Start your spring off right at Brown Shoe Fit, just south of 66th and Q in Lincoln.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Action Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electric is the call I make when I have a need for plumbing services. Whether it's for my home or office, if I need a repair to a water heater, softener, or even my garbage disposal, I know I can count on Action to help. In one simple call, their amazing customer service team promptly schedules a service call, often getting to my needs within a day. Action delivers honest quality services we can count on. To learn more, visit actionlincoln.com.
Spring often marks the beginning of severe weather, which can lead to power outages. LES wants you to be prepared before the storm. Restock your emergency kit, update your info with LES, and if you encounter an outage, report it at les.com/report.
Hi, it's Charlie Stone back with the latest update from Andy Goodyear of Honda of Lincoln. Andy, your new car selection keeps getting better and better every month. Can you tell our listeners all about it?
You know, it sure is, Charlie. It's great that our customers can come in, pick out a new Honda, and drive away with it that day.
How many new Hondas do you have in stock?
Well, right now we have just about 100 in stock.
Hey, I hear you've won some very important awards in your service department. Tell us about them.
Well, the first one is we won the award for the first fixed award. So the cars are actually fixed on the very first time they're brought in. Second award is our Customer Service Experience Award. And then our third award is our Honda Express Service Elite, and we rank the best in quality and customer satisfaction.
Maybe it's time you come experience the Honda of Lincoln way of doing business. 27th and Yankee Hill Road, or online at hondaoflincoln.com.
Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. This is Old School, sponsored by the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. Broadcasting veteran Derek Pearson.
When you find something that moves them, that makes them smile, celebrate it. That's your task. That's your superpower.
Nebraska Football Hall of Famer Jay Foreman.
Rifles a pass. It was tipped. It's picked off by Foreman. He's at the 15, 10, 5. He'll score!
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
What up? Happy Wednesday, Hump Day. Jay Foreman, DP Austin. We are Old School. We are coming at you live on this brisk but beautiful day in Lincoln, 1040 O Street at the Mecca of Sports Radio Talk here at the Ticket. And we are Old School, brought to you by the Mercado, Certified Piedmontese, Special Ingredients and Butcher Shop, 84th and Havelock, 30th and Yankee Hill, 2 Lincoln locations. You are not seeing a blip on your screen. I was in Minnesota yesterday, back in Nebraska today. Great thing about planes, trains, and automobiles. But look, you leave one day. I mean, that must be the omen. Leave last week. AD skips town in the middle of the night, right? Wasn't even gone 24 hours or maybe 24 hours. Actually about 24 hours straight. And we got a new AD and I guess a potential new president. It seems like it's a foregone conclusion, but we won't speak on anything that we don't know. So, look, I mean, decisions got to be made. You can't sit there and cry over spilled milk, and you got to just embrace the new leadership in place. And I'm sure he'll do a good job. I'm sure hopefully they hired him for the right reasons, and he's got experience and has a lot of somewhat like indirectly connection. I think Fred Hoiberg said he's known him since high school. Matt Rule knows him professionally. He said since Temple and Tulane have been in the same conference. So I'm sure look, he got hired at Washington for a reason, and then we were able to kind of pluck him off from there, just like Texas A&M was able to pluck Trev off. So onward and upward, I think it's good to have the first part of leadership in place. And DP, I asked you the other day, which kind of was they already answered the question, but I was, asked you, was it more important to have the AD in place first or the president? Seems like it's simultaneously going on, but the ink isn't dried on the president yet. Obviously, there's probably conversations all around, because I would hope if I'm president, they would come to me and say, hey, DP and Austin are the final two. What are your thoughts? What do you think about the AD being named before the president?
All of this makes me just quote my grandmother. Worry about what you can worry about. What folks are doing in at their universities and their athletic departments. I'm an independent, so I'm not married to any concept or idea other than a working good. No matter what University of Nebraska does athletically or academically, I'm still going to support. I'm here for the young folks, and so you hope this gives them some calm and some chill to know who's going to lead you, at least in some capacity, and then we'll talk about the results, because the process it's not my process, so I don't understand it. I don't understand the thinking. I don't understand the business.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's ever. I mean, you've seen the process work either way. And you see it all the time in the NFL. You hire a coach, and GM is shortly after. There's contract obligations, and when you can hire and when you can commit and all this other stuff. So it's a little, sure, it's not just cut and dry, buyouts and all that other stuff. I mean, if you're going to go back and even just look at how long it took when we originally hired Mickey Joseph, when it was already a foregone conclusion until he actually got here, right? It's getting okay from LSU and the powers that be, and then eventually getting him on the plane and getting him introduced. So
what changed other than the nameplate? What in the process changed? If you haven't had success doing the thing and you haven't changed anything in that process, you're going to get what you've gotten. Isn't that? I mean, we have definitions for insanity for a reason. That if you're making decisions the same way by the same people for the same outcome, you're going to get the same result. You're literally going to get the same result. So if you tell me that somebody else made the decisions, or that you defined what you were looking for in an athletic director, because do we know that? Do we know what?
Well, I mean, they did. They know. I mean, they had it. They just. I mean, you lost it. I mean, regardless of any of the assumptive, reasons why Trev left, he could have just said, I just want to go to another school.
Well, no, so, this is not even this is not a Trev thing.
Well, what I'm saying is he did a good enough job, so they hired him. They hired Trev, so you got to give him credit for the fact that he left. Now that's a whole different conversation that we aren't probably have enough intimate knowledge to have it. So I mean, the process seems good. Now how long it takes to hire a president and how that all works, sure does politics fall in line there. I'm not a big believer in politics and sports, but it's always, when there's money involved, there's always going to be politics.
Through all of it, if this is what the powers would be, if they got who they wanted, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, you got who you wanted. I'm just a member of, if you don't change, if you got a result that you weren't satisfied with, if you don't change the process, you cannot change the future result. Like, I know that as a man, I know that as a businessman, I know that as a coach, I know that as a player. That if you want change, you have to make change. Like, there's a gospel, there's a song that's actually on the charts now, and it says, if you want change, you have to make change. And if change was made,
but what change are you saying that needs to be needed? Like, what process? I mean, the guy left. You have to hire somebody. I'm sure they always. I mean, I hope that you always have in your lockbox 10 guys that you possibly looked at before. I'm only assuming. I'm just.
I'm not in that mood. So we know that in recent history with coaches, athletic directors, etc., that the hiring process has not been smooth or pointed. Like they told the stories of how many coaches were approached and how many ADs were considered and how many, et cetera, and those things weren't done well. Whatever result you got, if you wanted that result, cool. Right. If you are exactly where you want to be, then the next step is somebody that you hired an athletic director who, and Austin, you can kind of correct me if I'm wrong, but we have the quotes from the new athletic director on his thinking and philosophy. And if some of that is that, well, there are things that aren't of interest to him or not a priority for him, that now becomes the priority for the University of Nebraska athletic department. And if you're not aware that, okay, you now have an athletic director that's been at 3 institutions in 8 months. For whatever reason.
Oh, yeah.
For whatever reason.
I mean, that's a technicality, though. I mean,
no, that's a fact. Like,
well,
it's a fact.
Well, that'd be like saying a player gets your contract is up. So my contract was up in Buffalo. I go to Houston, and I get traded to Pittsburgh.
His contract wasn't up in Washington.
Right. And so, but he made it. He leveled up, right? So you go to Washington. That's the job, right? He probably didn't assume that when he took the Washington job, that Nebraska's job was going to be open on March 13th.
Okay, so if
I mean, what you're saying is factual, but there has to be some reality to it. Like,
if Austin tells me that he wants to work here and that it's the ideal job. It's the ideal job. Okay, I'm working from his word that if I'm going to include him in my family, that his word is valid and good.
Right.
And then if Austin then tells me in 6 months that, well, I got a better offer, then everything you tell me from that point forward leads directly back to the fact that you didn't tell me a truth. And if you're cool with that, if people are cool with that, then
right.
Okay, fine. Okay, fine. But that sounds like familiar. That sounds like you're not.
Well, I mean, it's like you're pigeonholing him like he has to stay. He's from around here, right? He's from Iowa?
Iowa. Yep.
Oh, we just go piggyback that.
No,
that
I'm just asking. I'm not piggybacking. I mean, you're talking about facts. He's from Iowa, right?
No, right? Like we just Iowa's the same as Nebraska.
It's how far? Where is he from in Iowa?
I'll get on it.
So let's just say he's roughly 3 hours away, right?
Okay.
Versus a 20-hour drive 3 hours home.
Marshalltown.
Yeah.
Iowa City, yes.
Right. So what? 3.5 hours?
3.5 hours.
Yeah. So he's probably closer to family and friends and stuff like that. It's the opportunity. It
doesn't change my job.
It would definitely be something I'd be open to if I was an AD and I went from Tulane. So first of all, there's no comparison between Tulane and Washington.
Okay.
So just get that. That's that. Don't say you got to stay at Tulane for the betterment of your work.
I'm cool with
there's no question. So
right.
you should take that job, right? Because you went from Northern Iowa to Tulane. So it's letting you know he's able to get out of his comfort zone, right? So he goes from he goes to Washington, okay? And then if that was me and I don't know what to compare to be at Washington and say I just left, like, say I was an AD at St. Thomas since I was just there. And then I got a job at, I don't know, let's say Montana State, it's a big jump up. And UNO or I guess Minnesota or something like that, or somewhere I'm close to. I mean, I would definitely consider it.
Miami.
Yeah, I would definitely consider it. And that would change what are your initial thoughts. I mean, it's probably a little bit better opportunity, I'd assume.
If somebody from your hometown,
right,
called, said, "Hey, man, you're talking about hiring Jay." Would their would their opinion of you land? So if you're checking on me, you're calling back to DC and you're asking Brian Mitchell, "Hey, man, talk to me about this DP dude."
Right.
Because of your respect for Brian Mitchell and the common likeness, and he's aware, you would at least store what Brian Mitchell had to say. And I'm pretty clear I brought my past with me to Lincoln, Nebraska. Mine, these people come on air and they tell you who I am and how I've lived.
Right.
If you're making a business decision, I'm going to ask, if Jay Foreman has been at 3 radio stations in 8 months, I'm probably a little concerned. Even if I think I have the best radio station, right?
Yeah, I wouldn't be concerned about that.
Okay.
Because I wouldn't count the first one.
Okay.
I mean, again, it's like being on there. This is no defense. Say you're out in like Scotts Bluff, right? Whatever some small radio station is, and you get a chance to come in to say Kearney, right? That's a big jump up in maybe not apples to apples from Tulane to Washington, but you're going to the second best Power 5 conference in the nation, regardless of Washington. And then you make the skip over to Nebraska. I mean, that's just part of.
I'm not mad at anybody for wanting to be a part of what Nebraska offers.
But what would it matter to you if it was like 15 months?
No, I just want to know.
But I'm just saying, if it's 15 months, does it matter? If it's 3 years, then what's matter? Like the time frame shouldn't matter because he had to start at one spot though. He got approached for doing a good job at Tulane by Washington. Nebraska wasn't in the factor in the equation. So I'm assuming when he got off the plane up there in Washington that he was thinking, or Seattle was thinking like, all right, I'm not going anywhere. And then, Nebraska comes calling.
So if Iowa comes calling because it's home, it's closer to home, and it's a lateral move, and they'll probably offer more money, and he'll be even closer to his people.
That's the choice that he has to make, you have to be okay with it because there's factors outside of the contract. You're not like families obligated to do it. I just got a text here. It's from unknown texter. He says he got 4 kids that could be closer to his grandparents. Driving distance, probably different. He says it's a different tax bracket. I don't know anything about that. And Nebraska in perception is probably a little bit easier job. It's a little bit turnkey. Washington, we know this for a fact. I know this for a fact because I'm good friends with Jed Fish, who's their head coach. I haven't checked his temperature yet because he might be a little bit upset his boss is gone. And I got one up on him that we just stole his boss. But Washington has not had a good, and it's the main reason why old boy left, right? They haven't had a lot of support for their football program, NIL and all that other stuff, but maybe a little bit more.
What? Okay. So you're in a place, you're in Tulane, and you built it in your own image. Fair to say?
Yeah, because he was there, like 8 years?
Right?
Yeah.
2008 to 2015.
Right?
Yeah.
So then Washington calls. And if you really love what you're doing, you stay where you are. But okay, I understand. You make the move. Okay, fine. You then are in control of the present and the future of Washington athletics.
Right.
From hiring the most important coach in all of its athletic department, right? Its new football coach.
Yeah.
After a national championship year, with transfers and NIL situation and circumstance.
Mm-hmm.
And then 6 months, you bounce. Now, I don't know his situation. I don't do. People are entitled to do what they want to do. Do your thing. I'm not mad at him.
Right.
I'm just asking the question that if you made a decision about the long-term security and identity and direction of the athletic department, how long did you take and how did you land on the guy who just got to Washington and is ready to leave?
I
don't
yeah,
know it. That's
I
just
don't know
me
about
being
that,
nosy
but
and curious.
if you're good at your job, you're on the radar regardless if you have somebody presently employed or not.
Well, I
know that for a
I
fact.
get phone calls. I get phone calls every day.
I know, but I'm just talking about. I mean,
I speak from what I know.
Right, and so if he's good at his job, he's going to be approached, even when he's employed at Nebraska, by numerous schools in different locations, if he's perceived and known to be good at his job.
And here's the best we can do is make sure that this place, and this is Washington, is a destination location in everything we do. We had this exact conversation during the process, and I said, and this is him being hired, I want this to be such a good job that you don't want to leave. Hey, maybe the big boys across town call and you decide to go, but I want it to be the best job in college football. He's speaking of Washington. Right. Now, how do we make it the best job in college football? The challenge the athletic department has, the challenge the president has, is in making it the best institution for everyone. So through all of that, and again, this is just months ago, about the place that he wanted to be. And Austin, again, correct me if I'm wrong, one of the quotes that was shared was, this is my last job. 6 months ago, no.
It was his last job. That's what you're not understanding.
I understand.
No, you don't understand. How old is this dude? How old is he?
He is lower 50s.
Yeah, lower 50s.
I understand.
Lower 50s. In perception, it was his last job. He did not take if he took the Washington job, knowing Trev was going to leave March 13th or March 12th or whenever it first started, let's say March 10th because of the weekend, courting.
So everything you say is
it's not circumstantial.
To the person that says that, there are conditions and circumstances to everything you say, which means from this point forward, everything that this person tells me has a grain of salt attached to it. And that's fine if that's what the work is. But Austin, am I wrong in re-quoting what I shared with you?
Yeah, but you can't just take what somebody says and then
well, that's all there is, Jay. We can't his words and his action.
Right.
And both of them said,
well, his action, and you know what? But then you're like trying to pigeonhole him to stay at Tulane.
I'm not pigeonholing anything.
Take Tulane out of the equation.
Yeah.
Just take it completely out of the equation. Because whether it's Washington or Nebraska, if you were trying to move up in the AD world, 99 out of 100 would probably take Washington or Nebraska's job. Fair enough assumption?
Fair.
So stop with the Tulane stuff. So
2 jobs in 6 months.
Okay, well, that happens all the time. So if you get hired at like T-Mobile, right? You don't think AT&T or Apple or whatever is going to give you a job. Well, they say, you know what? How don't you come over here to Apple? And you got to take the job.
If you're the president of T-Mobile, it matters. It matters.
I'm sure the dude from Washington's upset. I'm sure he's not upset. I'm sure our president, we upset that Trev left.
So Austin again. So tell me from what you read today, whether the folks at Washington are all warm and fuzzy.
They're not.
They're not.
No, they're not. No way. They weren't warm and fuzzy.
Do they know him better than we do currently?
Yes.
But they weren't warm and fuzzy when DeBoer left either.
We're not talking like DeBoer. We had this conversation about DeBoer as well. But my thing is, I just want to understand how the University of Nebraska and the decision makers are making decisions. And look, they could come out and say, hey, he checked, here are the 5 boxes that we wanted checked, and he checked them all. Then I go, okay, at least there's some understanding. But we're in the dark.
Yeah, but why do you think they need to be obligated to tell you why they hired somebody?
They don't but I don't have to be obligated to jump in line and go.
Oh, I'm not jumping in line. You're asking me why and how he got hired.
This is wonderful because we did that already.
Right, but DP, you're sitting up here acting like as a president. So I'm president of Nebraska, right?
You're Chris Kaborik, right?
Right. Okay, and you're the AD. You're whoever you are. We never lost Trevor, whatever. You've been the AD. My job as a president is to have a pulse on the whole landscape of what I'm obligated to do if it's only my job to hire the AD, right? Because who Iowa hires potentially as an AD or Michigan State hires as an AD or whatever could affect what I need to do in the future. So when one chess piece moves, you have to say, okay, well, what possibly could it affect me, right? So, if we just hired a dude, Washington, you can't be sitting there getting caught with your pants down. You got to check his temperature, dude. Just like they did with DeBoer. He met with him, offered him $8 million. He refused to sign. If he did not know that dude wasn't coming back, it's not DeBoer's fault that went to Alabama. It's his fault.
Do you not have any curiosity about what the process is?
Well, if there was like a sheet of paper, I would be curious because I guarantee you, like,
why are we afraid? Why should I be afraid to ask? How does this work? See, because we talk about this every day. Right. We're in the business of asking questions. Again, I don't have to have all the answers. My job is to get the right question, and a question that leaps off of my brain,
right,
and has been confirmed in several spaces that I'm right to be concerned. Now, do I have a say-so? Yeah. Right here, I have a say-so. And my question is, I don't understand the process of how you get to where you got to. I didn't say it was wrong. I just said I have questions. Now, right. I always understand.
I mean, there's plenty of questions.
My psych professor in college would point out that, Derek, it is not your responsibility for somebody's response to your question. It is theirs. So when I ask a question, if you don't like your answer to the question, that's a whole, as you say, that's a personal thing.
Right.
I'm sitting here saying, as a Nebraska fan, you throw confetti because the position is filled, right? That there was a process. As the curious soul, I'm left to ask, how did you get here? That's why David Byrne wrote the song. Well, how did we get here? Because if you don't know how you got here, you will repeat constantly making the same decisions. And that puts you in a definition, in a word that we understand. It's insanity to keep.
So you're saying hiring Trev was a bad decision?
I'm saying
no. I'm asking though. So it's probably the same process that they hired Trev. It was pretty quick, right? It was a little bit longer, obviously, for obvious reasons. Same process they probably hired Trev. I would definitely say when they hired I-Course, probably the process wasn't very good. Bill Moose, depends on what side of the street you're on.
Oh, I'm on the other side of the street.
Yeah, so whatever.
Because we saw the cleanup on aisle 5, 6, and 9.
Right. So the process to me doesn't matter because I only care. This is I only care what you do. Because if you ain't doing your job, the process really needs to be better. Is how they're evaluating how they're doing their job. You got to do the job because I always tell people this. This thing that people struggle with coming to Nebraska is two things. You have to be here and understand. And I'm not even born in Nebraska, so it took me a little while to understand. You have to understand the nuances of playing here, coaching here, and being here. Right? It's no different than being at Penn State or Alabama. It's just different, right? So you got to embrace it. You cannot fight it. If you do fight it, you're gonna mess up, and you're just gonna end up stubbing your own toe and get frustrated.
But see,
I'm talking about coaches. I'm not talking about you.
Yeah. Like if we know, if the text line tells me that they've hired well over the last 15 years,
that's not what I'm saying.
Last 10 years,
that's not what I'm saying.
Last 5 years.
Are you talking about AD?
I'm talking. Yeah. If you tell me,
I just asked you that.
I don't know.
Well, how do you know he was just here?
I'm asking. I'm asking. If you tell me that let's put in another barrel of cartons of buckets of apples.
All right.
That if a thing doesn't work and it ends unceremoniously, let's use those in air quotes, unceremoniously, is it right or wrong? Is it good or bad? Depends on your perspective, where you stand, what your expectation was, what the goals were, what the mission was. I would dare say that if you when you announce that Trev's the athletic director and you say his last year ends in this situation and circumstance, most people, some people would say, that didn't go as planned.
Yeah, him leaving, that was definitely not probably on the docket, though.
Were all the goals and missions achieved? Right? A bowl game football program, since it is the right? Was that on the list of, hey, new athletic director, we need to win, we need to be in bowl games. That at the very top of the pyramid of things that were expected wasn't achieved. And for whatever reason, the things that you thought were in place with that athletic director didn't turn out to be that way, and it caused a need for a change, either on his behalf or yours. Either you weren't what was pressed, or he wasn't. Pretty simple. It might have even been both, but that's okay too, because if you don't understand that the Husker fan doesn't know what went wrong, who's responsible, and how to fix it. And until you do that, you're just blowing in the wind. Like, we don't know what happened. Nobody is the grown-up in the room to say, hey, Nebraska, Husker Nation, we love you so much that we need to identify what the problem was, and we will fix it. We will have a resolution for it so that it never happens again, especially on this watch, right? Because we can't go back and fix what was broke, but we can forward, mend, heal,
right?
Improve.
But then you get the question: who says it was broken?
They did.
Who's they?
The athletic director and the university said this don't work. Somebody said this relationship is over. Who was it?
But who said it? What if he just wants to change the scenery?
If he said that he chooses somebody else over his alma mater, my goodness gracious, I'd really like to know what the reasons were. The real reasons. Wouldn't you? Like, if you're the reasons, don't you want to know if that's what happened? Don't you want to, if you're the fans who dole out your hard-earned money,
right,
like to put down seat deposits and buy season tickets and drive from various corners of the state and follow it from wherever you are in the country and the world, don't you want to know what you've invested in, what you financially and emotionally invest in? And nobody's telling you what really happened. And to me, that's a real problem.
Where else do they tell you why somebody left? Tell me right now.
93.7 ticket?
No, they say no. You're not a university. You're not a university. They will not tell you why. We're talking about big time Power 5 college football. What team and what university comes out and says, you know what, so and so coach left because this border region didn't want him on the
Jay, have you met me?
No, I'm talking about
college.
Let
me answer the question. Let me answer the question. What about me says because a thing has always been done and accepted the way it's been, am I okay with it? No, you do what's right because it's right, not because it's always been done or that's how everybody's doing it. That's how you end up in the situation where nobody knows what's going on.
So you think there wouldn't even be legal ramifications if they just came in there and spilled this business?
Whose business?
If they say, okay, well, this is what Trev did, then
who do they owe more, Trev or the Husker Nation and folks who
they
invest
owe them
in
to
it?
make the right decision moving forward? People leave all the time.
Okay, so again, if those are the rules,
right?
If those are the rules, then we all find our silent seat in the corner. We put our earmuffs on.
The most important thing is what they do. Stop going off what they say.
They
go
didn't
off
succeed.
what they do.
They
go
didn't
off what
succeed.
they do.
What was
if
the
Trev
mission?
decided to leave, he decided to leave.
What was the mission? You left before the mission was complete. What would they say? In any organized, whether it's military or team.
But his mission is still going on, though.
His mission is in College Station wearing a burgundy tie and singing the Aggie hymn.
And he has
come on.
He has chosen to go to another place.
And I'm not even mad at Trev. Do you the adults do what you do?
Right.
I just want to understand the space that I'm in. I don't know why it's bad for me to ask what is going on. I'd like to understand so that for my sanity and my peace of mind, I know what it is.
Right.
What's the old kid show? What the heck is it?
But are you more important about knowing why something happened or what they do?
I want to understand.
I'm at which one is more important?
The why is way more important than the result.
So you don't care what they do?
Wait a minute.
His job number one is be a good AD.
You walked into that one. The process is always way more important than the result. We've been talking about this. Look, Coach Tom Osborne always told, trust the process. Do your job. Every great leader will tell you.
And an AD job are two different things, man. It's not even in the same stratosphere. His job is to be the best athletic director that he can be.
And what does that mean?
Well, he's gonna tell you.
Can we answer that after break?
You just
When is his press conference? He's gonna tell you then what he got to do. I don't care how you got here. I don't care how you got here. I just want to see what you can do.
And Joe on the text line, I'm not mad at Trev. I just said, pay attention to what I'm
mad
saying.
At Trev?
No, I'm not mad at Trev.
I told him I'm mad at him.
I'm not mad. Again, everybody's entitled to make their own decisions. We'll talk more about it.
Trev, if you listen, I'm mad at you still.
You're listening to Old School with DP and J. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Where will your path take you, traveler? To seek fortune in a new career? Or on a journey to distant lands for a well-deserved vacation? Wherever you go, one distraction could spell disaster. You can change your fate, adventurer. Don't drive distracted. Paid for by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Ironhide Construction is hiring. They're looking for hardworking, self-motivated individuals who are team players. Ironhide Construction has openings for an experienced project manager, estimator, apprentice, skilled laborer, and erector or installer. They will train the right people and make sure you understand the position and requirements. At Ironhide Construction, it's own it, be honest, and do it right. Apply today and learn more about their other benefits at ironhideconstruction.com, where they're committed to you every step of the way.
This is Brad with Midwest Bank, proudly serving our Nebraska communities for over 70 years. We're a community bank, making local decisions, supporting local organizations, and helping local businesses and farms succeed. We are dedicated to serving our clients and helping them meet their financial needs with sound, innovative banking solutions. From an array of checking and deposit accounts, cash management services, to small business, real estate, and ag lending. We're here for you. Your community, your bank, Midwest Bank. Find out more at midwestbank.com. Member FDIC.
At Union Bank, people don't have your money. Your money has people. First home people, investment people, people who answer the phone and your chats, dream car people, dream retirement people, driving your dream car in your dream retirement people, small business people, credit card people, and all the other people you need. At Union Bank, our people help you do more than you dreamed possible. So stop in and say hello. We can't wait to see you. Union Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
Working at Continental in Lincoln isn't a job, it's a career. And right now, they've raised wages again, and they're hiring for production operators at $24.62 per hour, which grows to $28.97 per hour within 3 years. Skilled trade positions now start at $33.36 per hour, with opportunities to make more based on certifications. Continental also has salary jobs available and great benefits, plus medical and prescription costs at very low premiums. Dental, vision, and life insurance are offered at no premium cost to the associates, with increased bonuses and vacation for new hires. To learn more or apply, go to continentaljobs.com with keyword Lincoln. Come work at Continental today.
Forget the lame excuse this year. Your boss already knows why you can't make it to work for those magical 2 days in mid-March. Join 93.7 The Ticket on Thursday and Friday, March 21st and 22nd at Buffalo Wings and Rings at 68th and O for March Mayhem. Come early on Thursday and get a ping pong ball with a lucky team on it. And stay all day for prizes throughout and buzzer beater upsets. It's March Mayhem with 93.7 The Ticket for the NCAA tournament at Buffalo Wings and Rings, 68th and O.
Attention all Nebraska basketball fans. The NCAA tournament is coming soon, and Nebraska looks to be on its way to their first appearance in 10 years. Better Tree Removal wants to celebrate the occasion and any possible success in the tournament by offering a deal. If you're in need of tree removal on your property, call or text Todd by March 20th. If Nebraska wins the first round game, you'll get 25% off the bid. If they win two, you'll get 50% off. You must contact Todd at 402-780-1377 before March 20th.
Load up on meat and more this spring at the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese at 84th and Havelock. This week's specials through March 26th is spend $25 and receive a free 10-ounce New York strip. Limit 4 per visit. And don't forget about lunch on Fired Up Friday from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Locations on 84th and Havelock and 30th and Yankee Hill in Lincoln or 168th and Maple in Omaha. Get to the Mercado today for the best meat in town.
Ready to upgrade your combine in 2024? The team at Landmark Implement is here to help you find the right combine to fit your operations needs. Choose from 4.9% for up to 60 months or a 12-month interest waiver, followed by John Deere financial rates with approved credit through the end of March. When you purchase a pre-owned S or X Series combine from Landmark, know you are backed by Landmark's extensive parts and service network with mobile techs and parts drop-off points to keep you up and running. View our current inventory online at landmarkimp.com or stop by your local Landmark to experience the Landmark difference.
Action Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electric is the call I make when I have a need for plumbing services. Whether it's for my home or office, if I need a repair to a water heater, softener, or even my garbage disposal, I know I can count on Action to help. In one simple call, their amazing customer service team promptly schedules a service call, often getting to my needs within a day. Action delivers honest quality services we can count on. To learn more, visit actionlincoln.com.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
Back to old school with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
What up? We're back. Jay Foreman, DP. Short segment here, so we get back up on time. Yeah, I mean, it's I'm a big, show me, you're not telling. And that's just from being in the pros, just understanding what the deal is. It's look reasons. The one thing I always look at when Trev left, obviously he's gone, is that. Remember my agent telling me, that he's talking to me about just being in the pros, right? He give me tips and, not to get too close to people in training camp because things happen. But he's like, dude, you will never know why decisions are made. Because I remember calling him one time and asking him, like, how is this dude in training camp when other dudes that were better than him in mini camp, he's like, you'll never know. He's like, I was like, don't you ask him? He's like, I used to ask all the time. I got 5 different answers. And, now, and it's generally because it's just whatever they want to do. So, I just think, it's, I guess I could say, yeah, it's a, you could be a little wary of maybe like he's a job hopper, but, if it's if he feels there's opportunity, which is not just solely his decision, assuming that he's married and he's got 4 kids, and if they're close enough to be back home, I'm sure that when he goes home, and that's part of the scenario. Now, possibility that he could go to Iowa, deal with that then. But I think right now you got to deal with to see what he does moving forward, and then how all the wires connect. I think the biggest thing isn't the process how people got here. I think the process, the biggest thing for me is the process when they're here. Mixing in books and ball. They used to be intertwined. It used to work like well-oiled machine. Now you got to get it back on track, because I kept talking about yesterday. College football is changing. Let's just be honest. That's what keeps the lights on and off. So you got to be able to make sure all that stuff is up to snuff. And if they do that, then everything will kind of be I wouldn't say easy, but it'll be a lot easier. And that's where we've struggled since I called it, 20-some years ago?
I hope they're right in every decision they make.
Yeah. I mean, you can make the right decision. You can make the right decision for the time being. You couldn't tell a person you couldn't tell anybody really. There's a very small percentage in the whole United States that would tell you when Bill Moose and Matt Davison got on that plane and went down and got Scott that it wouldn't work out. Small percentage.
Yeah,
So you make the right decision based on what it is right now. How it goes is based on what you do. And that's where I was talking about is like you can get caught up in this vacuum, man, and lose sight of the main thing. If you keep the main thing, the main thing will be you'll be your prosperity, and all the things that you had hoped for and all the things that you said when you first got here will be there at the end of the tunnel. And that's the hardest part right now.
What's the main thing?
Well, if I'm a football coach, my main thing is to do what I need to do every single day to continue to develop the players and all the, the hoopla, and then obviously do that. If I'm an administrator, I don't know what the president is. I don't really get into all that. I know they can have an effect, obviously, on other stuff. So whatever his job does, and, probably going across the party aisles, I guess you could probably say it's a little bit political, and then you got to make sure everything's on the up and up. I mean, I'm sure there's about 5,000 hats they gotta wear, and then you got to make sure that the checks and balances there. So they all got to do what they got to do.
Jay, here's the thing. I hope they're right. I don't know the process. I don't deserve to know the process. It doesn't mean that as a free-thinking man, as a grown bleeping man, that the curiosity, because that's, I don't know, just curiosity should be a thing. Like you should be curious about how things work.
Sure, people are curious.
And for me to speak on it should require that I ask questions. That's why media is a big part of this is asking questions in situations, circumstances, so you understand. If I don't understand it, I say, I don't understand it. I'm not going along. I'm not a sheep. I'm not going to play along and just go, well, that's none of my business. Keep it moving. That's not, we're in talk radio. We're not in the, be dismissive. No, it's a conversation where I'm curious. So I say, I don't know, and I'm curious. And if my being curious and asking questions makes people uncomfortable, then ask yourself, if I made you uncomfortable, why are you uncomfortable about me being curious about a thing I don't know? Why?
Yeah, I mean, it's,
why are you? Why? Like I don't get it. You're in a college town.
Yeah, I just became immune to it just because of. I mean, you grow up in the business, you just see. NFL, people come and go every day. You sign contracts. Next thing you know, you're on a plane going somewhere else. Next thing you know, you're at the hotel waiting for your agent to call back to see where you go next. So it's a little alarming that Trev, who's a obviously Husker, leaves. But then also sometimes you see guys leave in football free agency just because they want to change the scenery.
So just I'll ask the question once again. If you, and I'm asking you and everybody, are you not the slight bit curious about the process? And are you not the slight bit curious about what happened to cause a split of a person whose name is up in the building in which they played and a position of power and authority, the face of the athletic program and the director of its business, right? The athletic department business and the university itself split. And you have zero curiosity about why it didn't work.
Because I don't look at it. I look at the person. I know the person pretty well. I look at. See, the problem with a lot of people do is they hire off of this, or they look at this too much. That it's like if you're going to hire somebody to be a scientist, they're not going to show up with like a basketball resume. They're going to be a scientist. What makes this good is who that person is, and it's probably personality split. Obviously, Trev's probably got aspirations to make some quick moves. I keep telling people the answers. Nobody's listening.
No,
if college football is moving fast, what you think moves are doing? It's just common sense. You're going to keep moving. Now, you can question why you left your alma mater. You know, that's the only one person that can answer that. And that's him. And and he got his reasons. And there's nothing you can do about it.
Big Bird asked
and
the
it
question.
could be a perception of reasons, though.
Big Bird asked the question. I'm curious why it took so long to get a president when he was already in the Nebraska system, just 90 minutes down the road. Now, again, there are simple, there's brilliance in that.
Is he named the president?
Well,
the priority candidate was Jeffrey Gold. That was my question, because there was reporting that said Gold was Trev's preferred candidate, but he also seems like the safe one. So if you're going to go with him all along and you could have avoided the black eye of Trev leaving, why didn't you go with this guy sooner?
And Ted says
the
this.
President.
Ted says this. There's not a Husker fan out there that isn't curious about that. And there's nothing wrong with asking the questions either. The point, you're never going to get the answer. True, right? Like it's
if I ain't never going to get the answer, I ain't going to worry about
it. If I look at Jay Foreman's offense at basketball and it works or doesn't work, my natural curiosity should lean me in to go, hey, Jay, why do you run back cut here from this space?
Right.
Because I've seen it work and I've seen it not work in other ways. That's a sign of intelligence.
Right.
That natural curiosity. I don't understand how you just put blinders on and go, well, it just is. Nah, dog.
Right.
Nah, dog. That I can't do. So I'm trying to understand. So I keep asking questions.
I mean, it's a different mindset. Like I look at it every day. You win or you lose. That's the great thing about football. And that's the thing that I do not care, because I play with dudes. I don't care what you look like. I don't care if you're 2 inches smaller than what you're supposed to be at D-line.
Right.
Do you win or you lose?
Yep.
So I don't care who's here. I mean, obviously I cared that Trev was here. I cared that Scott was here. I was hopeful where Scott was here. I was assuming to be hopeful when Trev was here. I'd be hopeful for anybody. I'm hopeful and assuming that Matt's going to do good. At the end of the day, 10 years from now, 15 years from now, I can almost guarantee there's going to be another probably AD, maybe, right? You know, and another president, I'm assuming. They might just retire. Then you're like, why'd you retire? Some dudes just pack it up and just say, you know what, I'm done. And instead of going somewhere else. What's the difference?
And if that's an honest reason, you accept it.
But it wouldn't be the honest reason. If you get so frustrated somewhere that you are able to retire, and you just say, you know what, I'm done, that's not really the honest reason. They just said they didn't want to feel like it, and they probably didn't want to move. These guys are young enough where they can move a couple times.
I had said when I got to Lincoln, I was going to retire.
Right, and you're still working, so you just like them. Yep. So there you go. You in trouble now.
And then I know why. I know why I'm doing it.
But you ain't did it though.
You
should have not worked.
No, guess what I did.
You should have not worked.
Guess what I did. Oh, I should have not worked.
You should have just not worked. You said you was coming here to retire.
I came here to retire, bro. I was done. And situation and circumstance.
Yeah.
Curiosity goes, why don't they have a better sports radio station?
Well, you should have just sat
answer.
there and just asked that question, and then you shouldn't have worked.
I did.
So then you just like that. You skipped out.
And I'm
on
like,
your word.
why isn't Jay Foreman on the radio every day? Why haven't I met Austin Orman? Like, what? I had questions, doggone it.
You should have asked Jake Bogus. There you go.
Oh man. Yeah, right.
Not Jake Sorensen, Jake Bogus.
No, that is hilarious.
Yeah, that's the answer right there.
Hilarious.
That's why it took so long to come over there. Why did it take you so long to answer your text message? You didn't ask that. That's on you. Not only did you not retire when you said you were going to do, as a reporter and as a news media guy or somebody doing fact, right? Am I just being here? I'll do it. Am I being factual? Right? Right?
Facts.
You didn't ask the right questions.
Facts.
Yeah. Right. You did double X. You didn't answer the question.
You know why I asked the question? Jay Foreman, what job title do you need? That's the
Yeah, I would have just told you.
Hey, Jay Foreman, come hang out with me every day for 2 hours.
That's it. Jake Bogus. I don't need my name on there. You asked why I wasn't here before. Jake Bogus.
Oh, that is so funny. That is so funny.
And he didn't answer. It took him how many years to ask? So there you go. So all the text line, DP did not answer to the question. And then he said he was going to retire. He didn't. So there's two factual things there.
Blame Becky. That's right.
No, you can't blame it. You can't blame the border region. You can't blame. We're blaming you. There you go. See? That's
problem solved.
You know what?
Right?
That's the boomerang thing. Come back and get you right on the butt. Anyway,
that's him talking to his uncle.
Yeah, that's the uncle's talking to me, man. Anyways, good short segment. We're gonna go take a break. Come back at the top of the hour. Jay Foreman, DP Austin will be back.
Watch Old School live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Old School with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Load up on meat and more this spring at the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese at 84th and Havelock. This week's specials through March 26th is spend $25 and receive a free 10-ounce New York strip. Limit 4 per visit. And don't forget about lunch on Fired Up Friday from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Locations on 84th and Havelock and 30th and Yankee Hill in Lincoln or 168th and Maple in Omaha. Get to the Mercado today for the best meat in town.
Spring often marks the beginning of severe weather, which can lead to power outages. LES wants you to be prepared before the storm. Restock your emergency kit, update your info with LES, and if you encounter an outage, report it at les.com/report.
Rosie Sports Bar and Grill, open for lunch and dinner at 1501 Center Park Road.
Hey there, fellas. It's your girl Jordan with Sartor Heyman Jewelry. Women may be complicated, but I make sure buying jewelry isn't. Your gal has a style, and you can figure this out. Is she more of a classic necklace kind of gal, or does she rock the boho chic vibe with layers of delicate bracelets? This is crucial intel. Not trusting your intel? Stop in the store and we'll sort out the details. I promise to make this super easy. Until next time, this is Jordan at Sartor Heyman Jewelry. Happy shopping, guys.
Constructors is now hiring for all positions, with laborers starting at $23 and up based on experience. Constructors has immediate job openings for laborers, mechanics, bridge builders, operators, and drivers. Start your new career today. Constructors offers great pay, health, dental, and vision insurance, paid time off, paid holidays, and so much more. Join the crew today and be a part of Nebraska's oldest paving company dating back to 1908. For a complete list of openings and to apply online, visit constructorslincoln.com. Spring is on its way. Are you prepared to keep the grass greener on your side? Blades Lawn and Landscape has a position opened at a homeowner association to their client list with residential and commercial openings also. Transform your yard into a private oasis with the professional services offered by Blades Lawn and Landscape, including landscape walls and beds and a 5-step fertilizer program applied by a licensed professional. Call them today at 402-730-6320 or go to bladeslcc.com to schedule a free estimate on commercial or residential lawn services. Spring is on its way. Are you prepared to...
Attention all Nebraska basketball fans. The NCAA tournament is coming soon, and Nebraska looks to be on its way to their first appearance in 10 years. Better Tree Removal wants to celebrate the occasion and any possible success in the tournament by offering a deal. If you're in need of tree removal on your property, call or text Todd by March 20th. If Nebraska wins the first round game, you'll get 25% off the bid. If they win 2, you'll get 50% off. You must contact Todd at 402-780-1377 before March 20th.
Constructors is now hiring for all positions, with laborers starting at $23 and up based on experience. Constructors has immediate job openings for laborers, mechanics, bridge builders, operators, and drivers. Start your new career today. Constructors offers great pay, health, dental, and vision insurance, paid time off, paid holidays, and so much more. Join the crew today and be a part of Nebraska's oldest paving company dating back to 1908. For a complete list of openings and to apply online, visit constructorslincoln.com.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. 93.7 The Ticket. Fox, KFXL Weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, we'll see mainly sunny skies. It will be breezy and a little cooler. We'll see an afternoon high around 49. Tonight, probably cloudy, a low around 29. And tomorrow, we'll see partly sunny skies, a little breezy, but a little warmer, a high around 58. Our meteorologist Kyle Tucker for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Cover more acres with a pre-owned sprayer or planter from Landmark Implement, your local John Deere dealer. We offer one of the area's largest selections of used sprayers, applicators, planters, and seeders. Through the month of March, take advantage of fixed-rate financing as low as 3.9% for up to 60 months or a 12-month interest waiver. Visit your local Landmark Implement location or view our complete sprayer and seeding inventory online at landmarkimp.com and experience the Landmark difference.
Load up on meat and more this spring at the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese at 84th and Havelock. This week's specials through March 26th is spend $25 and receive a free 10-ounce New York strip. Limit 4 per visit. And don't forget about lunch on Fired Up Friday from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Locations on 84th and Havelock and 30th and Yankee Hill in Lincoln or 168th and Maple in Omaha. Get to the Mercado today for the best meat in town.
Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. This is Old School, sponsored by the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. Broadcasting veteran Derek Pearson.
When you find something that moves them, that makes them smile, celebrate it. That's your task. That's your superpower.
Nebraska Football Hall of Famer Jay Foreman.
Rifles a pass. It was tipped. It's picked off by Foreman. He's at the 15, 10, 5. He'll score!
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
What up? We're back. 5 o'clock hour. Jay Foreman, DP. Brought to you by the Mercado. Certified Piedmontese and their special ingredients. And they have an excellent butcher shop. 2 locations. 84th and Havelock, 30th and Yankee Hill. Almost lost my streak there, Austin. But
good save.
Yeah, good save.
You tripped him up.
Yeah.
Shoelace tackle.
Yeah. One thing is one of the texters sent in an article about one of the regions must be out in Kearney or something like that. I don't even know how they anything like that, but they said that I guess the guy that Gold is like text line let us know. Do they? So if they probably call and like ask you, would you take the job? Then you probably say yes, right? And then they go vote on you. Is that how it works?
How dare you ask what the process is?
Well, I'm only going off this article.
How dare you ask what the process is?
Well, I'm only going off this article because he sent the article and the article essentially stated that, because then you had the person that maybe nominated the Gold saying that it's pretty much a foregone conclusion. So, the only good thing or not the only good thing, it's good that you make a, step in the right direction, take a step forward, because you cannot take steps backwards. You only could deal with what the situation is right then. And maybe you had a shock to your system that, Trev is down. He's in the history books of Nebraska in like 3 different ways, right?
Yep.
Player, right? Football Hall of Fame, in the stadium forever. So for people think you're going to take it, that's not happening, right? Then he comes and then has a big, then he's an AD at UNO. So that's kind of like his second part. And then the third part, he's an AD. So, if he leaves when he leaves, if that kind of opens your eyes to say maybe some of the suggestions that were out there or puts a sense of urgency into some decisions that need to be made, or, maybe some sense of reality of, what maybe you digging your heels in on some things, or so whatever it may be, you only can move forward. So I think today, and I'm assuming both positions are filled or will be filled, you only can move forward, and then you gotta produce. And I was talking about this before, is that, and this has nothing. This is not just administrators. This is just athletes as well. Is you can get caught up in this tidal wave around here of everything besides what the main thing is, right? So if I'm a linebacker right now, my main focus is going to practice next week and dominating my position to earn my starting position. Academics is a guarantee. So academics, family, and faith, that's always going to be number one. But the main thing that I'm talking about right now is football. As a football player, that needs to be your main focus. Sometimes you can get caught up in this tidal wave, And I always think that for every step that you take out of the main focus, out of that lane, is actually 2 backwards. Well, here's what I mean. I know that look, Austin was like, what's Jay talking about? I mean,
More Foreman math. Bring it.
Well, hey, listen. Listen. Sometimes you got to have good vision to get your degree. You understand? So don't worry about my math.
No, I'm just saying. I just don't see it the way you do.
Right. So if
lay it on me.
I'm in a lane right here, is equated to running the 40. Ideally, you'd like to run a 40 like in a vacuum, right? No steps outside. So if you have a step out too wide of the lane, now you have 1 step back in and 1 step to get going again. That's 2 like going backwards. And the meaning by that is if your focus isn't 100% on being the best football player that you can be at any point in time, outside of the 3 main things, right? In any order that you have it, you will get passed by. There's a lot of guys that were extremely more talented than I was. I have no problem telling you. Farley will tell you that. He probably saw some guys that were just as talented and more talented than him. There's a lot of guys that had tremendous opportunity, just didn't have the focus. And you have to focus. And how does that administration as well, coaches as well, at every sport, every level. It doesn't matter. You have to you can get sidetracked so quickly in this little town of Nebraska, supposedly, when people think generally distractions are in like big cities like New York, Atlanta, and so forth and so on. It just doesn't work like that. And, the better that they handle it, the better that they'll do. There's never, if somebody's coming in and extremely focused and puts the work in, they always seem to be successful.
I feel like I got my Foreman math degree. Thank you.
Yeah, you want to go out and run a 40? I'll show you. I can show you how to step out of line. That's why I'm probably not even close to break a 6.
Just ask him to get in the starting position.
Oh, I can get in the starting position.
Get out.
I just can't get out of the starting position. That's the problem.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
Again, my friends still laugh like this. It's in the process, right? And identifying what you can and can't do. It makes it. There's some notes in this article that was shared and sent about the process. That there was a meeting, hour and a half long meeting. They talked about the 211 days it took to reach an agreement on President Carter. 3 days less than what it's taken in this particular case, but both of them too long. And then there was a split. It still has to be confirmed. There'll be a 30-day vetting and some public meetings where, you ready for this? Where faculty, where news media, the public, students, faculty, and staff get a chance to meet and ask questions of the candidate. So,
of just one?
Once you get to a point in the full vetting, it's one.
So this dude here.
It's this dude.
Priority
Yep. He'll be the priority candidate, and then he'll go through the 30-day vetting. And if he can't get through the vetting, there could be any variety of things that come up to do that. And 8 people on the board. So they were split. They've gotten on the same page. They said it's a fluid process, so it evolves. That's what it's done. So there you stand. He's still got to get him across, as they say. We still have to get him across the finish line.
I'm sure it'll work itself out. Man. I mean, it's tough, but the best thing about it is football's starting, and there's a lot of work to be done. There was some work to be done in the spring. They had the pro day today, which is great, and it sounds like Quentin Newsom had a good day, and some other guys had some good days. And obviously, we talked on the crossover DP that I had to give Austin the look that my dad not used to. Oh, he doesn't give it to me anymore.
Because you've learned.
I have learned.
Wise and done.
I'd like to think so. That's still debatable. He used to give me this look with his my dad used to wear his glasses, and I would come in with some weird cockamamie excuse, and he would just pull down his glasses and look at me until I either left the room and be like, yeah, that's probably not right. Mm-hmm. Right? So Austin asked me the question. It was this. Why do you think that Dylan Raiola and Daniel Kalen threw to the receivers, tight ends, running backs versus Heinrich Harburg. See? Austin over here lays like little mines.
Heaven forbid I ask the question. Is that what I'm supposed to do? Like, I can have my own opinions
Austin,
and
we
thoughts.
don't. We
You
do
know the
not
answer.
ask questions around here.
You asked the question because
Don't you understand?
That was
I'm just saying they're used to
question.
catching passes from Heinrich. They're
It
not
was
used to catching
misleading.
passes from everyone else.
It
I
was
was just throwing a
misleading.
question out there.
You tried to lead the what's it called in the court? You tried to
lead the witness.
Yeah, you tried to lead the witness. You did, Austin. So let's lead DP.
Guilty.
Go ahead.
I plead.
You could have caught passes from early Cam Newton or last year's Cam Newton.
Give me JUCO Cam.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you don't want
Listen,
JUCO Cam.
You give me the first game Cam ever played Cam, and I'll take that against anybody.
Yeah.
And that's for real. I just think that I said for obvious reasons, I think, on time and on target. But then also I think that these two kids are fresh out of the 7-on-7, pretty much route tree. This is what they do all day and all night at this point in time on the weekends. And the reason why that's important is because what people don't understand, that 7-on-7 that's really taken off is just the football version of AAU basketball. So they're doing all the things that they do in the pro day, so to give the guys a better chance to showcase their skills. And it gives a chance for these young guys, which is those two freshmen, to see what the pressure is like getting out there in front of them. And I told Austin and Eric Strickland, or E. Strick, that one of the things I felt like we always had an advantage of was pro day, because everybody had to participate in pro day. Now the guys that were about to get drafted, obviously were put ahead of us, but all the pros were there to get an early look at, anybody that was coming up from a sophomore, junior, and then potentially the next year's senior. They have a book on you. They have a look of, say, okay, well, this is what, this person looked like as a sophomore. Oh man, he looked like he really had a good, off season. And that, then they can correlate that with your consistent improvement, which actually hopefully, helped you to get drafted, and then to have the initial scouting report playbook on you when you get in the league, because that's generally what they usually stick to, which is probably lazy work on their part, but you want to have a good foundation. I felt like it's a good move to have those guys out there. It's good to experience it. But then, the most important thing, like I just said, is come spring, all playtime's over. And then if they just develop the right mindset to, separate playtime and business, right? They'll take not only a step forward, they'll leap forward, and all the things that they, say they want will come to fruition.
You're talking different about these quarterbacks than you did a year ago.
With Jeff,
You didn't trust those guys. Remember that debate over? Oh, you would choose.
I want to choose. I said, what type of diarrhea you like? And nothing, no diarrhea was not part of it. All jokes aside, I wasn't just talking about the quarterbacks. I was just talking about this team, right? Yes, there's distractions, right? That's the known, right? Your AD leaves. All of a sudden now everybody was probably thinking about, okay, when are they going to hire a president? It didn't come to the front of the top of the dinner table until Trev left, right? Because of all the assumptive reasons why he left. So the best distraction for this team, right? And this is really, and also I want to give shout out to Mark Manning, Amy Williams, Fred Hoiberg, all the coaches, track and field coach, and all these guys. They have been able to keep their teams focused to be productive, right? Obviously, we're about to see here in a couple of days. But for the football team, right, the best thing for them is to play football, to play, go out there and compete, earn a spot, reestablish yourself, or continue to establish yourself. Surprise folks, as far as like the coaches, like, man, so-and-so, showed a couple flashes, but man, he's really matured, or whatever the grading system is. And everybody point, in the right direction to, try to, get this thing rolling the way it should be, because ultimately playing good football and being a good football player is contrary to the belief, is a big reason why you're here on campus. Contrary to the belief of a lot of people. when you're putting on a Nebraska football uniform, a high percentage of the reason why you're here is because you had at one point in time in high school been good enough to come here, and that's why you're here. That's the main thing. That does not mean that you don't go to school. That does not mean that you don't graduate with highest grade point average and honors that you can be. That means you're on a football athletic scholarship. Play some football. Think about football. Love football. That doesn't mean it has to be all you either. But you can't be, if you ain't a football player, man, you can't, look, social media likes ain't going to get you no tackles, bro.
Oh, but separating that matters. Separating, look, it's what we've been talking about.
Well, the biggest thing is this, and I talked to my basketball players about this, Austin and DP. Everybody's motivated, and motivation is temporary. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like a jolt of caffeine or whatever. What is it, like, 5-hour energy and all that other stuff, right? It's a jolt. What really makes you good is the discipline. The discipline can be a variety of things. Are you going to continue to do stuff when you don't want to, but then do it with the same intent, right? I was talking about intention. Are you going to be able to, the discipline to separate or give up some things in order to get what you say you want? That's discipline. Are you able to put some of the things that potentially could be distractions away because you got how many spring practices? Is it 15?
14 in the spring game.
Okay, 14. Or yeah, so
15.
Yeah. 14 in a celebration, right? So you got 15 practices. So for a month, can you be hyper focused on football and not everything else? That's the discipline. And that's a lot of times it's a majority individual choice, but then also it's like, you gotta, create that as well. It can't be forced. It has to be highly encouraged, and then it's got to be welcome. And that's the hard part about this day and age of college football.
Well, I mean, this is the game that exists.
Yeah.
And somebody will either direct it, as they say, you either coach it or allow it. You could set the standard for how things are going to work by stating constantly what's important.
Yeah.
And I think as soon as people figure out what's important, everything becomes easier.
Yeah, I mean, it does. Being a good football team is one of the most unique processes out there, and process in the meaning of it. I could give you 10 things, but it might mean 10 different things to Austin versus DP. But at the end of the day, sometimes people read those 10 things and just find ways not to do it. That's an individual choice. And there hasn't been a player that's been good that hasn't really put in extra time. You generally make separation when nobody's watching. You generally become better when nobody's watching. You generally become a better teammate when nobody's watching. It's a lot of individual choices by individual players with a collective mentality.
Well,
and that's it.
It's getting people on the same page.
Right.
Is the thing, because they come from different places. They use different language. They have different motivations, different experience.
Right.
And it takes leadership at the top of it, whether it's coaches, players. Again, players can lead a certain way, various corners.
Right.
But you've got to set a plan for it, and you got to set a standard for it.
Yeah.
And I think standard is the most misunderstood thing about high level football.
I mean, you couldn't have said a more truer standard or a more truer statement. The standard is these are non-negotiables. You know what I'm saying? And the problem with like our, I guess, society, or I'll just say sports society. I'm not getting into politics or anything like that. The problem, and this has nothing to do with Nebraska. This is just from the time they start playing till they arrive at Nebraska, and you see it at the pros too. So nobody's nobody's out of the crosshairs of the statement.
Yeah, people are people, no matter where.
Is the standard they feel like is optional. That's the problem. And the team, that's the problem with like athletics right now. That for what I don't know when it turned, but the standard which is your base principles that are non-negotiables, are sometimes perceived as optional. And when they're in part of the reason why is because of, heck, I was in the airport today and sitting next to older lady, and she was like, well, what do you think about this transfer portal NIL? And I was like, do you think so that's the answer. They have more options. The problem is what a lot of kids don't understand, and not saying kids shouldn't transfer. I'm all for if you want to go play, because that's how you get better at sports. And if you want to go seek another opportunity, so be it. But make it for hopefully the best reason for you and have a place to go. Is with these options, they think that they go to, like, here's an analogy, that you're going to drive to Omaha airport and go to another university and you're not bringing the same baggage. You know what I mean? And there's good examples or bad examples. The great example of the first, and he was a graduate transfer, is Russell Wilson, right? He brought the same baggage, right? Which happened to be very, very good, led him to a Hall of Fame career, to Wisconsin, and everything matched up. They needed a quarterback. They needed a leader. They needed his skill set and his type of, positive energy and his obviously next level thinking at that position, because it's been a weak spot. Then you have some guys that go to places and they do the same thing, that are late to meetings, don't eat their meals, find a way not to go to class and all this other stuff, and they want to know why you're not playing. A lot of players have a hard time fighting the urge of giving coaches a reason not to play you.
Well, I mean, they say no matter where you are, there you go.
Yeah.
No matter where you go, there you are. It's true. Like, if you can't fix now, again, sometimes it's just a matter of being in a place that accepts you as you currently are.
I got an example of that, and we're gonna see him on display.
Yeah.
Right. You want to know an example of that, right? Hunter Salas.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Now, he had deficiencies in his game as a 4-star recruit. I think he might have been a 5-star one time, right, Austin? Then he went to 4, ball handling and all that, right? Well, then he goes to Gonzaga, right? Everybody thought, okay, they'll go up there and he'll get developed, right? And he didn't play much as a freshman, made a big jump where he was in the rotation as a sophomore. He probably averaged like 5 points, but he was really big on the defensive end. Okay, right? I will tell you, Mark Few messed that up, because he got on a plane and left. Where is it? I don't know. Just
Spokane.
Spokane. He left Spokane, Washington, to go all the way down to Wake Forest, essentially all the way across the country, to a coach that, if you just line 10 people out there in front of the ticket, probably don't know his name at Wake Forest.
Steve Forbes.
Right. Besides Austin. So 1 out of 10. Right. And somehow he's figured it out in a matter of 4 or 5 months, 6 months, or whatever the season is.
30 games.
30 games. Right. In 30 games. He's potentially, and I've seen the reports, the first round draft pick. So yes, he could have went to this place and got better, which he obviously did. Right. But again, to the DP's point, right? You could call it a process or whatever, or recognizing how good this player is, that a well-known and respected coach mismanaged, or didn't see it, or it just didn't fit. It's the same thing when you talk about guys going from different jobs. He just got there, and maybe that system that he was seeing when he was getting recruited wasn't the one that fit his skill set while he got there. And it didn't match up to the skill set. Whereas you look at the way Wake Forest, they get up and down. He's really improved his three, his shot from 3. That takes time. And he gets the freedom to, grow. And that could be some lean games. It could be some turnovers. So it's a different situation. Plus his minutes, obviously, per game is up probably by probably like 6 or 7 times. So, situations are different. So, there's always good and bad with every situation, as far as what you're doing, because Hunter is a good kid, comes from good, background or whatever, works hard, loves basketball. So those things, when he got on that plane, was definitely just ingrained in him. Now he was just get the opportunity, but there's a lot of guys that go to different places and they do the same things. That's why you see about. I remember being in a tournament. I'll tell you this before we go to break. Being in a AAU tournament, and I saw a kid literally lay out. Obviously, he was playing all day with 4 uniforms in one turn. Now, this is when they're younger. You could do that, but what that means is you have options. So can you really tell me that you were really mentally focused in game 1 when you knew you had games 2, 3, and 4? You know what I'm saying? And did you give everybody that was on your team in game 1 and 2 the same, energy, respect and all that stuff? Because if you miss a shot, say the big time in the game, and that's the championship game, but you got 2 championship games and maybe like a third place game, are you really like feeling it when you're leaving? So that's where it's at. It's it'd be interesting to see what happens, moving forward. And once those, it will be very, very welcome when football starts, because it's definitely needed right now.
Time to get to it.
We're
about to find out.
After this break, I'm gonna ask you guys. I want you guys to think during the break.
We have some food to sample.
Oh, we do?
Yeah, we have food to sample next.
All right. I guess we got food to sample, man. Football talk's over. Jay Foreman, DP Austin. We'll be right back.
Watch Old School live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Old School with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Ironhide Construction is hiring. They're looking for hardworking, self-motivated individuals who are team players. Ironhide Construction has openings for an experienced project manager, estimator, apprentice, skilled laborer, and erector or installer. They will train the right people and make sure you understand the position and requirements. At Ironhide Construction, it's own it, be honest, and do it right. Apply today and learn more about their other benefits at ironhideconstruction.com, where they're committed to you every step of the way.
Houses? They're expensive. And once you buy one, you're kind of stuck with it for a while. You need to make sure you get your best house for the best price. You need Ben Bleicher and his team of pros at Professional Realty Group. They'll take the time to figure out what's important for you in your dream home, and they have the expertise to find the hidden issues that could surprise you after the sale. That's professional knowledge, proactive service. We call that potential. Ben Bleicher and the team at Professional Realty Group of Berkshire Hathaway's home service ambassador. Find more online at prg-ne.com.
Life is all about balance. So how about a little sweet and a little heat to make your week? At Wings and Rings, we're introducing our all-new Hot Honey menu for the month of March. Try our one-of-a-kind house-made sauce on the brand-new Hot Honey chicken sandwich or our Hot Honey shrimp and slaw. And of course, you can get it on the traditional boneless or smoked wings that have made Wings and Rings your go-to neighborhood spot. But don't wait, Hot Honey is only here until April 1st. So stop by Wings and Rings at one of our 2 Lincoln locations today, on O Street and on Village Lane.
It's getting nicer outside, but it's still hit or miss in the spring on golf weather. Not at Double Eagle Golf. Your home for always 72-degree weather and no wind. Book a bay with some friends for a weekend or come by for golf and happy hour on a weekday. Spring leagues are underway, but stay tuned for info on indoor golf tournaments and book your bay for the Masters in April. That's all at Double Eagle Golf inside the Kinetic Sports Complex on West O Street. Online at doubleeagle.golf.
Are you working in or looking to get into the electrical construction industry? The Electrical Workers of Local Union 265 are now hiring licensed journeymen and apprentices and are offering great pay and benefits. Call Mike at 402-875-1034 to apply. Start your electrical career today.
Hey, it's Chad with the Nutrition Authority inviting you to stop in and check out the all-new complete post-workout recovery, CPR. CPR is ideal for anyone who works out or competes and wants to maximize results. CPR can only be found at Nutrition Authority. Stop in today and try a free sample or visit us at mynutritionauthority.com.
Stop by TCA Outdoor Power on March 22nd and 23rd for an open house and customer appreciation celebration. TCA Outdoor Power is a locally owned business located at 6210 South 57th Street and prides itself on being Lincoln's only elite steel dealership for over 20 years. On March 22nd and 23rd, enjoy 10% off select steel products and up to $350 off on select battery tools. Also, if you buy 2 steel batteries, you can double your limited warranty. Give TCA Outdoor Power a call today at 402-420-9424 or visit them for their open house celebration, March 22nd and 23rd.
Cover more acres with a pre-owned sprayer or planter from Landmark Implement, your local John Deere dealer. We offer one of the area's largest selections of used sprayers, applicators, planters, and seeders. Through the month of March, take advantage of fixed-rate financing as low as 3.9% for up to 60 months or a 12-month interest waiver. Visit your local Landmark Implement location or view our complete sprayer and seeding inventory online at landmarkimp.com and experience the Landmark difference.
Acres is bringing you the nation's largest indoor display of John Deere equipment and technology. Acres 2024 Ag and Turf Expo showcases everything from tillage and planting to application and harvest. We'll also offer the latest industry insights from ag professionals across the state. Join us in Grand Island at Fauner Park March 21st and 22nd. Go to acres.com/expo24 for a complete schedule of speakers and activities.
Nebco is hiring CDL drivers for ready-mixed concrete, Husker Concrete, and Beatrice Concrete. Nebco offers great pay, medical and retirement benefits, paid time off, and they pay for CDL training. Apply today and start your new career with a $2,500 hiring bonus. From Nebco's beginning in 1908, it's the employees that have formed the company's solid foundation. Start your career today. Visit nebcoinc.com. That's NEBCOINC.com.
Back to Old School with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
There's a full-on buffet taking place. Manny, okay, bro.
Yeah, you doing it, man.
So it's 6105 Havelock.
There it is.
And he's had a food truck for a while. Now the brick and mortar's at 6105 Havelock. Soulful Cocina. And Manny just delivered
a plethora of goods.
Delivered.
He
like
delivered.
A champion. Eat your heart out, Sipple, Jake, and Bill.
Yeah, like they never share with us, right? They never share with us. The catfish. The catfish.
Hitting. Oh, yeah.
The catfish. Yeah, bro.
Like a Mike Tyson body blow.
Yep. Jay, I'm going straight for the hot link. I'm going for the hot link, bro. Mac and cheese, greens. He got the collard greens, green beans, baked beans, and the catfish. He delivered a catfish sandwich. Austin got the rib over there. Austin, how would you break down? Give us the scouting report on Soulful Casino.
Yeah, give it to us, Austin.
Yeah, this is when you know, right? Right.
Scrum-diddly-yumptious.
He textured the hot link, bruh.
He definitely knows what he's doing.
He textured the hot.
This might be one of the most silent segments of radio we'll do our entire lives.
Yeah.
We're too busy.
Well,
thanks for tuning in. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
Yeah, Manny. Thank you. Listen.
Yeah, you got the beef.
Okay, so if you're looking,
beef rib too.
So if you haven't made your dinner plans,
I call these the Fred Flintstones.
That's a rib. Hold that up on camera. That is a rib.
Yeah, you got the Fred Flintstones.
That is a rib.
That's good too.
Yeah.
So Soulful Casino, if you haven't had it, just let me go through some of the items on the menu for you. He's got sandwiches, so he's got a pulled pork sandwich. He's got a stash sandwich called a stash. Hot link pulled pork coleslaw barbecue sauce. All on one sandwich. He's got fried chicken, so you can get 2-piece. You can get hot links. You can get. He's got a smash burger with pineapple pulled pork, coleslaw, barbecue, and sriracha mayo. You can get the barbecue sundae. You can get the ribs. The smashed potato, which it looks like a thing. Baked potato, pulled pork, mac and cheese, butter, barbecue sauce, and jalapenos. Oh, mercy. You can get the sample plate, which is what we got. You can get the tri-tip plate, which looks delicious. The mook it up salad. So you can get your salad with pulled pork, smoked chicken, served with barbecue ranch dressing. And on your scale of 1 to 7 on the fried catfish.
Oh, 7.
That's a 7.
Yeah.
That's a 7. You can get the chubadilla. Well done. Quesadilla, pulled pork, smoked chicken, baked beans, mac and cheese. You can get all the sides you want:
Baked
sweet
beans
dill
with hidden.
corn, mac and cheese, potato salad, coleslaw, chips, green beans. You can get fries. Yeah, Manny, you didn't lie. You did not lie when you said, okay, he says, yeah, I got a big delivery, but I'll deliver some.
See, people always ask what I would do if I was the AD. This would be in my introductory meal.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome, my friends in Nebraska.
That's how you know you love me.
Yeah. And then, we got to ask Manny, do you make chitlins? Look at Austin. Y'all be all right, man.
Do I have to know what chitlins are for you to take me through the streets of Memphis like you said that you'd be okay with?
I'm not going to the streets of Memphis. Lorenzen Wright he was one of my favorite players growing up. He got hemmed up in his own town in Memphis.
They got him.
Obviously doing stuff he probably shouldn't have been doing or being with somebody he shouldn't have been with. But Memphis is I think it'll be good. I think, to be honest with you, I'm real excited about this NCAA tournament. Here's what I really want to ask you guys about, since DP is from Virginia, right? I won't go into my thoughts on Virginians, but the University of Virginia, handsome Tony Bennett, handsome, the most boringest coach and handsomest of all time, has his time come at Virginia based on Colorado State pulling down the pants and just giving you a butt whooping. What do you think?
He won a national title.
Yes, he did.
How many national titles did Virginia have before Tony Bennett?
I don't know.
Yeah.
But that's not what I asked you. I didn't ask you if you won a national title. I'm asking you about Tony Bennett right now in 2024.
That man lost an NCAA tournament game
to Colorado State.
It doesn't matter who you lost it to.
To UMBC.
Huh?
To UMBC.
But he
Ohio.
Yeah.
He got in there as a 1 seed.
Yeah.
Like, don't make me talk about your program.
But
we don't have them.
Right.
We don't have the black
Like,
guys. I'm just saying.
No, some don't have no black guys because they ain't never been in a fight.
But all I'm asking is was that the knockout blow?
No.
What if Michigan comes and offers $5.5 million a year?
Oh, that's a great question.
That's a him decision. I don't know.
Well, then you would say he'd been at two universities. You have to say he needs to stay there.
He ain't been at 3.
But you didn't stay retired. Do we need to go back to this?
I said 3. You said eliminate the first one because that's a part of. Okay, so eliminate whatever his last one was 12 years ago.
Right. He's at Virginia.
He's at Virginia, and he just won a national title in the last 5 years.
Let me ask you, do you think Michigan's a step up from Virginia?
For basketball?
Yeah, I mean, he's a basketball coach.
Yeah, but the cultures in Charlottesville, Virginia, at Thomas Jefferson University versus Ann Arbor,
right?
Don't blaspheme.
I'm just asking.
It's not in the same universe.
I'm asking you, is it a step up?
One is one of the great institutions of higher learning in the country.
I'm talking about strictly
one is
hoops.
We simply think about criminal and long shorts. Stop it.
I'm thinking I'm
They're
just
not
thinking
the
solely
same.
of basketball.
Everybody can't get into UVA.
But I'm talking about basketball.
Caleb Love didn't get into Michigan.
You can't get. Listen, how bad was that?
That's North Carolina.
Like everybody, listen. We're talking about the University of Virginia. It's a different. Hey, Austin, you know why Duke isn't always good in football? You know why? It's tough to get that many big dudes who can pass.
Not no more.
Who can pass?
Not no more. Listen, all you need is a heartbeat and pulse to get a scholarship these days. You ain't got to take no entrance exam, nothing. That's just nullified.
Yeah, okay. And gone down to Durham and say that out loud.
And they will get you a degree. It might be an exercise science.
Carol Lawson says otherwise.
They will get you a degree.
Carol Lawson says otherwise.
I'll remember.
Carol Lawson does say otherwise.
Yeah,
they will get you a degree.
She done it, and I'm not fighting Carol Lawson about nothing.
Right, but we're gonna stay on point though. Is Virginia a better basketball school than Michigan?
It is not a better.
Since you're not gonna get rid of Tony Bennett.
It is not a better basketball school, but it is a better school and a better environment. And anybody that's set foot on campus on the lawn at the University of Virginia knows the difference between that and Ann Arbor. Anything that happens in Ann Arbor,
right?
Like you can, they're not in the same universe. So the call.
Why is that?
Well, because it is a traditional high education academic institute first. And all the athletics, whatever successes are there, whether you're winning a baseball title in a national title in baseball or a national title in basketball, that's fine and dandy. That's not why you're there. That UVA degree, you go to the Darden Business School. Look, you are making a different statement. So Virginia fans love Tony Bennett. Basketball fans can say that they were bored and they were offended and all of that. But
aren't we in the NCAA tournament, though?
I'm old enough to remember when Barry Parkhill was the greatest player in Virginia basketball history. And you can't identify him with a cricket.
Nope.
But
I know Ralph Sampson.
Well, Ralph changed all of it.
Right.
Ralph changed all of it.
So did Tony Bennett.
But Ralph never won a title.
Ago.
Ralph never won a title.
Yeah, he tricked it off. It's okay.
He didn't win a title.
Right.
Yeah.
But I was talking about like what I saw last night. That I could watch paint dry 3 times. Looked like a coach that didn't know what he was doing. Handsome and all. I give it to him. Handsome dude.
I'm not.
And
Listen, Tony Bennett's forgotten more basketball. I'm not going to do that. Like, I'm not going to do that.
I'm just going on what I saw.
I'm not going to do that. They lost a basketball game in the tournament. If you're going to gauge every coach in the NCAA tournament by how bad they lose in the tournament, 32 of the jobs will be open Monday morning.
So how long? How long would you keep him employed?
I'm not. Whatever his contract is, that's his contract.
Then would you extend it?
I would have the discussion if his contract ended last night. Okay, you got to have the discussion,
right?
And he gets to have a different discussion. But the reality is,
so you're going to keep him as long as he's there.
I'm going to keep Tony Bennett. He's closer to being back in the Sweet 16 than 85% of the teams in the country. He's closer by finding an offensive player that's easily do in the Commonwealth of Virginia, kind of easy to do.
Yeah.
Right? And now with the transfer portal and NIL, guess what? He can go get a bucket. What he went with was defense and scheme and culture over everything else. And they were good enough to get to the tournament. So of his checklist of things that went on, guess what? He got his team to the tournament. There are a whole lot of coaches that are geniuses who are in the NIT or they're sitting at home on the couch talking about Tony Bennett, how bad his team played. So no, I'm not like that. Doesn't make sense to me.
Is that the Virginia in you, or what?
That's not basketball, dude. Like you, like that.
Hey, Austin, is that the Virginia in you? We need it. I mean,
it's 51% Virginia, 49% basketball.
I like Tony Bennett. I just think, hey man, you gotta pivot a little bit.
I appreciate Tony Bennett. I don't like the style he plays, but it's successful for him. I appreciate the contributions his dad made to basketball, and the fact he had to walk away under those circumstances is not ideal.
Yeah,
might be time for a fresh start. Virginia's not going to get a better coach than Tony Bennett.
They said that about Mike Krzyzewski when he got there, and then who is this Army guy, coach, whatever his name is, because he had a bad outing against Virginia, no less.
It was Virginia,
right? Oh, let's get rid of this guy.
But did Mike Krzyzewski pivot? Did he adjust? I'm not saying you fired Tony Bennett. I would definitely have a strong conversation.
He knows how to win a national title at Virginia.
Right.
We're not talking about him winning the national title at Duke and then transferring to Virginia and then laying an egg. He knows how to win a national title at Virginia with the talent that being a Virginia Cavalier gets you. It doesn't get you the talent that you can get in other programs.
Right.
It's a different talent pool to deal with. And you've got to be able to play at Duke level and have Duke academically. That's why Duke and Virginia are different in the ACC. They're different in every sport because the dudes there's talent level and then you being able to handle the academic level because they actually require that you achieve at a high academic level. You can't float through Duke and Virginia. You can't do it. So everybody can tell me, you lost, you were terrible offensively. There are a lot of teams that are terrible offensively in the NCAA tournament because you're playing the best defensive teams in the country. How do we know it? Because all the best defensive teams in the country make it.
Right.
It's the same thing you say about Iowa football. Oh, it's boring. It's tough to watch. Yeah, but Carrick Ferentz, never won a chip, and he's played horrible. His teams have been horrible in bowl games, getting blown out in championship games. Nebraska fired coaches for losing terribly in conference championship games. He lost in a – look, if you went to a bowl game and got beat out, you mad over that?
I think it's been brewing for longer than that, though. You read the tea leaves, it's been going for what, about 2 years?
Text line is on it. Yeah, you on that one, bro.
Got some numbers here.
Mm-hmm.
Again, just throwing them out there because, again, respect Tony Bennett, does great work. DP makes good points. Virginia's last 8 years. 2017, lose to Florida in the round of 32. 2018, lose to UMBC. 2019, win the national championship. 2021, lose to Ohio in the first round, 13 seed. Last year, 13 seed Foreman. 2024, lose to Colorado State in the first four. So he's been there. He's had a high seed, and he's gotten upset. And then here's this. This is the thing that stands out the most to me because it's just wild. Win probability for Virginia, this JBR bracketology went through it. Most and least dominant championship run since 2010. Most dominant was UConn last year. If you at the end of their games, you add up their win probability, 73%. 2019 Virginia's cumulative win probability in 2019 is 0.0%. Tony Bennett figured out how to work a miracle to win that national championship. The way they were up and the way they were down, Tony Bennett pulled that out of some dark corner and crevice in Charlottesville to win it, and it is impressive, and it is lucky, and it is all the above.
It's good. It's good. And again, Husker fans, tell me what you wouldn't give. What body part wouldn't you give to have your one-off year? One-off year to win a national title in 2024, and then 5 years to get blown out in a first-round of the tournament game. Tell me what you would.
His one-off year is the first team to get beat by a 16 seed. That's his one. That's the do it twice.
On his legacy, he won the
chip. That's
chip.
on his resume.
He won the chip.
Yeah. Trent Dilfer won a Super Bowl too.
He won the chip. No, you just compared. You
really better looking than Dilfer, though.
Really?
Brad Johnson too.
Really?
Was it Don Meredith too?
You just compared.
No, I love Tony Bennett. I just think I've been watching their program for a while because the reason why I started watching their program for a while is because it was interesting to me that Isaac Trout went there from the very beginning, right? And he went there for the very beginning because of the education, the connections, the get the degree. It's bigger than basketball. Well, he left after like a year, 6 months or whatever. So I started to kind of watch and like read the stuff where they've encouraged him to kind of get out of the norm. I know that's how he's won there, but the difference between when he won the national championship to now is the transfer portal is open. So you have to change. You have to change. Not completely change. You have to adjust. If you get more electric players there, because when you talk about Duke, look up the dude that's from North Charlotte to go into Duke.
Isaiah Evans.
Yeah. Listen, Isaiah Evans will be there for 23 months. Kyrie Irving was not up in there as a beacon of going to school. They will circumvent the system. Doesn't matter where it's at.
Let me. Why are you talking about Tony Bennett and Virginia differently than you talk about Nebraska?
Because I watched Tony Bennett in Virginia last night, and they got rocked.
So it's okay. It's okay.
It's the NCAA tournament.
Players got to make plays. Where's that dude? Where's that dude? Players got to make.
They do.
That's a personal decision.
Yeah, them dudes
That's
that were getting.
a personal
Listen,
decision.
I saw the defensive guru. I saw them getting destroyed off the bounce.
Man, I got a heck of a memory. All I know.
But what does that got to do with the game last night, though?
They got beat last night.
They got destroyed.
They
got annihilated by Colorado State.
And you're going to judge.
I'm not judging. I just asked the question because I'm curious.
I answered.
Would you have a conversation with Tony Bennett to up his points per game from 43 points? What do you have at halftime? 12?
14
points at halftime.
Would you have the Brian Ferentz conversation with him?
Who knows better how many points Tony Bennett needs than Tony Bennett? You think
he needed 14?
You think for a hot minute that today he woke up and went, I'm good offensively. No. No, he knows what went wrong. He knows what he has to do.
Right. So we're gonna see.
He won a national title.
We're gonna pin this conversation at
with mirrors and confetti.
5:50.
Based on what Austin
This time
said.
next year, I'm gonna ask you the same question. When Virginia comes in as a 14 seed and loses to number 3 Villanova.
Okay.
Believe that. I'm gonna ask you the same question.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna ask you a year after that, and I'm gonna say, you know what? You need to extend this contract at $8 million a year.
Okay.
Since he gets that private money too.
Okay.
I'm just joking.
Okay.
Anyways, J4, you know you ain't. Because listen here, Butts ain't going to be in the stands there because them kids in Charlottesville, they do some other stuff on campus that's not upstanding.
And they selling it out right now. And the
Yeah.
alumni are happy.
Yeah.
Alumni love Tony Bennett. That
I know the
for
certain
a fact.
type of alumni love him.
That-
right, Austin?
Yeah.
He GQ Tony.
That-
Now that Jay Wright gone, he's the most handsome man in basketball.
Hey,
Anyway.
do what you're good at.
Jay Foreman, DP Austin. We'll be right back.
You're listening to Old School with DP and J. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
For over 15 years, Integrated Life Choices has empowered individuals with disabilities in Lincoln and throughout Nebraska. They provide comprehensive services from group homes and independent living services to job training, ensuring fulfilling lives for those that they serve. Now, they're inviting you to join their mission. If you're passionate about making a difference in the lives of people with developmental disabilities, explore rewarding career opportunities with them. Learn more about their services and apply today at www.ilc.net. Be a part of Integrated Life Choices, where your work truly changes lives.
Garage doors can be expensive. Are you keeping yours in the best condition possible? This is Cameron Hall with Doors Plus. Doors Plus is a locally owned business that prides itself on the fast, reliable, and friendly service. Doors Plus offers flexible scheduling so you can book an appointment that fits your busy day. My team and I will come out to your property, both commercial and residential, and provide you with the necessary information you need to make sure your garage door is in working and smooth condition. Give Doors Plus a call today at 402-590-5800 to book an appointment and learn more about our preventative maintenance plans. Doors Plus, garage doors, and more.
What a day. I could sure use an afternoon pick-me-up. Hold up. The new 93.7 The Ticket location has a milk, coffee, and tea inside? Oh, yeah. This is a game changer.
Need an afternoon pick-me-up? How about a coffee or smoothie on your way to work? Stop by the Ticket Mill location on 1040 O Street to get your go-to drink or try out our new game day drinks exclusive to the Ticket Mill location. We know it'll make your day a million times better.
You're counting on your team to win, so why not prove it? At Warhorse Sportsbook, their win is your win. Put your money where your mouth is on nearly every sporting event. Use the Warhorse app to check odds and build your bets before placing your wagers in person at Warhorse Casino in Lincoln or Horseman's Park in Omaha, including live in-game betting. No bets, no glory. Wagers may only be placed on Nebraska-based teams when played outside the state of Nebraska. Must be 21 or older to gamble. Gambling problem? Call 1-833-BET-OVER.
Acres is bringing you the nation's largest indoor display of John Deere equipment and technology. Acres 2024 Ag and Turf Expo showcases everything from tillage and planting to application and harvest. We'll also offer the latest industry insights from ag professionals across the state. Join us in Grand Island at Fauner Park March 21st and 22nd. Go to acres.com/expo24 for a complete schedule of speakers and activities.
Hey, it's Chad with the Nutrition Authority inviting you to stop in and check out the all-new complete post-workout recovery, CPR. CPR is ideal for anyone who works out or competes and wants to maximize results. CPR can only be found at Nutrition Authority. Stop in today and try a free sample or visit us at mynutritionauthority.com.
It's getting nicer outside, but it's still hit or miss in the spring on golf weather. Not at Double Eagle Golf. Your home for always 72-degree weather and no wind. Book a bay with some friends for a weekend or come by for golf and happy hour on a weekday. Spring leagues are underway, but stay tuned for info on indoor golf tournaments and book your bay for the Masters in April. That's all at Double Eagle Golf inside the Kinetic Sports Complex on West O Street. Online at doubleeagle.golf.
The best time to have your air conditioner serviced is before you really need it. Call Bryant now and schedule your spring air conditioning service check. No matter what brand equipment you have, Bryant's trained technicians will thoroughly clean, inspect, and test to make sure it's ready to cool efficiently when hot weather hits. You'll stay cool and comfortable when you need it most. Just call 467-1111 to schedule your air conditioning check. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing. We do whatever it takes.
Stop by TCA Outdoor Power on March 22nd and 23rd for an open house and customer appreciation celebration. TCA Outdoor Power is a locally owned business located at 6210 South 57th Street and prides itself on being Lincoln's only elite steel dealership for over 20 years. On March 22nd and 23rd, enjoy 10% off select steel products and up to $350 off on select battery tools. Also, if you buy 2 steel batteries, you can double your limited warranty. Give TCA Outdoor Power a call today at 402-420-9424 or visit them for their open house celebration, March 22nd and 23rd.
Back to Old School with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Jay Foreman, DP. We are almost into the point of itis. I get to go coach basketball, but DP one-on-one with DP is right at 6.
Yep, gonna go through every game of the tournament.
Every game in the tournament. That'd be awesome.
Game.
Everybody should tune into that because that's gonna. I think this tournament is gonna be off the charts. But tomorrow from 10 to 6, Wings and Rings, about 68th and O Street. 68th and O Street. Get there for the ping pong ball drop. Plus, there's going to be other prizes and gifts, and all the ticket personalities are going to be there. It's going to be March Madness. It's going to be crazy. Get there early.
Yep. Do not roll at 10:01.
Yes. Do not be fashionably late. Be early. That is the one thing that obviously Tom Coughlin says: if you're on time, you're late. So be early. So it's going to be a good time. But before that, listen to DP one-on-one. He's going to give you some insight on who he's picking.
Well, no, they're going to pick for me. So I'm literally going to go to the text line. The text line is going to pick. We're going to have a ticket bracket. So of course, everybody knows we have our bracket challenge online. Right. And I'm going to set up one bracket that is strictly based on the text line.
Text line.
And so we will go through 63 games. And the text line will tell us who to pick.
There it is.
Skurs, baby.
Right?
There it is.
Right?
Yeah.
So if you're looking for the bracket challenge, just go to Ticket. You go to Ticket website, go to Ticket social media, whether it's Facebook or X, and it's on there. Just click it. Join the group. Make your selections.
All right.
But we're gonna make one here, starting right at
6 p.m.
6 o'clock. We're gonna go through every game. And we'll pick based simply on the text line.
There it is. And we're going to print it back out. We're going to see what you guys know about this NCAA basketball because nobody really knows just because there was one bracket last year in the whole nation. Yeah. Wasn't that it?
Yep.
One?
Yep. There are numbers. We have, wow.
So
there are a lot of folks already in there.
Yeah. Hump day. Get some sleep because basketball is going to be on from sun up to sundown. One of the greatest days on the calendar. March Madness is starting in less than 24 hours. Jay Foreman, DP, Austin. We'll holler at you.